Now, if you don't have a moisture separator filter unit on your compressor, well, maybe you should consider getting one. I'm going to give you a review of this product, and it really is one of the best on the market. You can watch this in 4K, just adjust your device. Now, my project in the shop today, and I'm going to share this as a little review video, is I'm adding to my compressor a water moisture separator. It's an important thing if you're going to do any custom painting. I'm going to upgrade the one I already have on the compressor, and I'll show how to do the unboxing and how this works, and a lot of tips that may be useful if you're new to painting or if you're just looking to upgrade your painting skills or your compressor, or both. Now, the primary thing that I do with my compressor is paint motorcycles. I've painted many model airplanes, many other things like guitars for other people, outboard engine covers and such. But the main thing is painting custom motorcycles, and the tips that I'm going to share on this video I've learned from painting an awful lot of motorcycles over 60 years. So before I even unbox this came from Amazon. It was about $55 and change, and they make them bigger, smaller, but the important thing is to get the right thread size so that you can adapt this to the compressor that you're using. So the first thing I always suggest people do if you buy anything, carefully unbox it and save all the packaging in case something's wrong with it. And from time to time, you need to return it. Well, it's always handy if you have the original packaging. This looks like it comes in a nicely packed unit. Again, I got this from Amazon, and they do make ones that are more bigger. I think they're for bigger compressors than mine. I have a Harbor Freight compressor, and this is how the unit comes. And there's some really nice directions, I know, because I've already read these. And this is one of the things that if you're looking to upgrade painting skills, having clean, dry air, basically clean air, that doesn't have a lot of moisture in it, will be a giant help. So I'm going to review these. I've already looked at them at a friend's house who has this already on his compressor, and then I want to get busy getting this installed on my compressor. Once you unbox everything, and I always like to show, this is how it comes out of the box. And again, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I just haven't had the time. Today's the day we're going to do the upgrade. And for anybody who wants to get the exact same model, this is the model. And again, it's from Amazon. Now, the instructions are kind of basic for many models and different variations, bigger and smaller ones. But it's pretty basic. There's some plastic plugs where the threads go. In is your air supply coming from the compressor, out, going to the spray gun. So it's kind of easy to figure out. The thing that if you look at the cap on the knob that adjusts the pressure, it's marked. You have to pull it up and twist it. One way is more, and they have it marked with an arrow. So kind of self-explanatory stuff. So step one for me is to just screw in the pressure valve. This is going to be a pressure regulator that you can up or lower. Inside you can see there's a very fine filter. This is going to filter the air, and this is supposed to be one of the best units on the market right now, according to my friends in body shops, and I hope we're going to see an improvement in our air quality, and I'll explain that a little later in the video. So I wanted to have an adapter that I could unplug this conveniently because I have 3 compressors in the house. I wanted to be able to use it on another one, but a lot of people, my friend Bob with the body shop, has his mounted to the wall and connected by a piece of hose. A lot of different ways you can customize it, but the main thing is if you do it this way, make sure somehow you don't have this like a diving board and there's vibration there. Make some kind of a bracket, but I think this will work fine for what I'm doing here. But let me show on a diagram what the next step of this would be. Now, this is just a crude drawing to show what I want to do in the next step. Here's my compressor, the unit, the moisture separator, and what I want to do is take the hose coming out, run it up high so that moisture going up this tube, gravity will tend to drain it back down here. And by the way, this unit then at the end of the day, when you release the pressure, this drains out the moisture. The idea is to keep as little of it going into the gun, into the paintwork. And that is a major thing if you have problems with, in the old days when I painted nitrate dope, butyrate dope, or lacquer or acrylic lacquer, they would just fog over with the moisture. Well, nowadays modern paints don't fog over, but what happens in your final clear coat, you wind up getting all little fish eyes and bubbles and any contaminants. This should go a long way toward making that whole thing better. Of course, depending on your compressor and your shop, and if your compressor is in a permanent spot. Now mine isn't. I have to be able to move that compressor around for various jobs that I do. And I wanted to have this with a quick detach, and I wanted to also, after I thought this through, I wanted to use an inline my pressure gauge so I could not only see the pressure in the compressor, the pressure that I'm releasing to this unit, and the pressure that's actually in the unit. That knob on top and basically you pull it up and adjust it and then push it back down. And what that does, and it's very convenient, you can get your pressure very fine-tuned to the gun. A nice accessory. Now, I'm going to at some point in time be replacing my air hoses in the shop. They're getting to be old and I'm trying to upgrade all my equipment. But this is a big upgrade, and you never know when you're painting how much schmutz you're putting in the paint. It's just, until you have it nice, fresh, clean air. And I'm sorry I waited this long to get this. This was one of my goals, that it would be a quick disconnect way of doing it. So I checked all the pressure, and here's what I thought would be a good way to just test this, just so I could use it. I have a hook that hooks up into the rafters, runs outside, and that's going to allow me to just test the unit and see. Now I know I spray between 40 and 25 pounds, and I've got an accurate adjustment on that 2 different ways now. And this little filter here, this is an automatic one. It automatically drains. At the end of the day, the pressure comes off it, the moisture comes out. I think that's going to be a nice upgrade. So just a quick review of how this install went. It unboxes, of course, and I always save the boxes. The gauge, they even give you the tape to seal the fittings. They give you extra fittings. But again, it's critical to order the one that has either 1/4 inch, 3/8 or 3/4 inch fittings. And of course, you have to know what's on your compressor. And the extra gauge that I have, now I can adjust the pressure from 2 different gauges. Just handy for me, and I can fine tune it that way. This is a great tip. I've seen this on a lot of other people's videos that are professionals. How the goal is to keep as much dirt and moisture out of your air as possible. Now, I'm going to give a couple of tips that I've learned over the years. Important stuff. But keep in mind, the biggest single tip, and you'll hear it from every single body man that I've ever talked to, friends and just people that have shared information with me, is always drain your compressor at the end of a spray day. At the beginning of a day, plug it in and rock it back and forth. Let it blow any of the moisture that accumulated in the tank, because that material, that moisture, and all the little rust that accumulates in the tank ultimately winds up on a paint job. And if it's in your clear coating, and it doesn't matter what you're painting, it just adds to the quality of the paint. Once you rock it, close the valve, go out and spray, let it build up the pressure. I like having the extra little pressure gun. But there's another tip that I think is worth sharing if you're watching this video up to this point. I like to personally spray a lot of thin coats, especially when it comes to clear coating. And that has helped me make just the best possible finishes with the equipment that I have. So of the 3,000 videos that are out on my channel, I'd say probably half of them concern some part of painting, preparing paint, priming, doing body work, painting model planes, painting motorcycles, various other things that we've done in the shop as projects, both for ourselves and for other people. Now, you can check that all out. You can just put my name in quotation marks and search that channel. I put my name in full up on the screen here so you can see how to spell it. Get into that channel and then just do a search in whatever topic that you're interested in. A lot of them cover paintwork. I try to share all the information that I've learned over a lifetime. I'm 78 years old as I make this video, and I have been painting things since I was a young teenager. And airplanes and motorcycles, both my two passions, and I'm hoping that some of the information I've passed on, not only in this video, but in all the videos, is useful so that you can enjoy whatever passion you have even more. And thanks so much for watching.